favorite to the professional.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
40.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you had a great Wednesday. I did, because I had actually quite a decent amount riding on Argentina across just sports books and fantasy players and just enjoyment of the game. So love to see it. It was kind of like the, I guess like not the 3 lions, but the 3 cowardly lions yesterday, I think we saw after England went up on an incredible goal by Gordon. Man, they went up 1-0 and just they parked the bus way too early. I'm not I can't claim to be the expert soccer analyst, but having watched, I've got my 10,000 hours in when it comes to NFL football, and that whole second half, I couldn't help but think, man, England just went in the prevent defense, and I'm not saying it fails 100% of the time, but I absolutely have seen it fail more often than it works. In the NFL, a team will get up in the second half, the fourth quarter, and they basically just let the offense move the ball. They put in like 6 DBs and just try not to give up like a 80-yard touchdown, while the offense just is, moving the ball, moving the chains like almost every play, getting, 10, 15 yards, quickly moving up the field. They may not give up one 80-yard touchdown, but they gave up an 80-yard touchdown drive in like 37 seconds. And it just often comes back to bite them. And that's, I think, England got a little too played not to lose instead of playing to win, because first half was very close game, very evenly matched, I felt. England kind of dominated early in the second half, but as soon as they scored that goal, it was all Argentina from then on out. And Messi's just unbelievable, like unbelievable at any age. The fact that he's 39 pulling this off, you can see the clips, but he just, like hard to stop the guy. It's some sort of guy's much bigger than him. There was the clip where he, basically somehow he's got Kane and Gordon on each side of him, gets through both of them, nutmegs Gordon, and then two Englander and defenders just tackle him. Just incredible talent, and it just you almost knew that the ending was going to play out as it did, and when they were just, it felt like from like the 80th minute on, they were. It seemed like they had, I don't know, dozen shots on goal. I know they didn't have quite that many, but I did see after the Gordon goal, England had like 12% possession. It just was all Argentina after that, and can't give a team that good, that's scrappy, that's talented, that many opportunities, and expect to win. We did get a generational meme, however. So while I won't go back and replay the videos or the game at large, there's some pretty cool Messi highlight clips from the game. I will share the generational meme if you missed it. It's like the Michael Jordan, and he took that personal meme from what was it called? The Last Dance. This is Bellingham's talking some smack. I have no idea what Bellingham said. Mess like, oh, okay. Bet. In Spanish. And then someone said something to Bellingham after the game, got him to slap a guy in the back of the head. I don't know if there'll be any disciplinary action or repercussions from that or not, but I will say this. I think we've got, if you're interested in joining my journey into fandom, a couple things. I've been talking to a guy, we're going to finalize details, I think today, about football. Myself being, my 10,000 hours in NFL football, my potential co-host has his 10,000 hours in EPL and international football, soccer. And so I think we're going, and also getting into the NFL, just as I'm getting into the EPL and La Liga. And so I think it'll be a lot of fun. You'll have an expert, someone that knows what they're talking about. You'll have someone like myself that's asking dumb questions, but what, you may not get asked from someone who's got a decade experience, following the sport closely. And then vice versa on the NFL side, someone, exploring, it'll be kind of like taking a journey along with me, discovering the game. And on the flip side, same thing on the NFL side, while I can hopefully speak a little bit of, share a little bit of wisdom and expertise and or game theory. So really excited, more on that soon. But I think we've not checked in today, and gentleman's an England fan. So plans might have changed after the Big L yesterday, but and then today's proof of simulation has got to be the Messi and Lamine baby picture. I can't remember I know we talked about it in the war room. I can't remember if we talked about it on this show or not. So I'll hit it real quick and then we will move on. But so there's better tweets that tell the whole story, but I'll do my best to summarize it. 19 years ago, Barcelona was doing a charity event, a charitable calendar, a charity calendar, and they raffled off the spots. And families could enter the raffle and they get their kids could take a picture with Messi and other Barcelona stars. Well, this is baby Lamine Yamal. 19 years ago, Lamine's family wins the raffle, gets the photo op with Messi in this calendar. And this is just crazy. The chances of this actually sure, someone's going to win the raffle, but the fact that the one who won the raffle that gets the picture with Messi ends up going to be a generational talent. And that's for 19 years. He's now the third youngest player to ever play in the World Cup final, or start in a World Cup final. Messi's will be the oldest player to ever start in a World Cup final. And it's like proof of simulation that of like the passing off of the torch, I feel. Also, not just Lamine, but the thing that's kind of blowing my mind as I start exploring the sport more, we talk about, in the NBA playoffs, we were talking about, Wemby and the future of the game. And I can't believe freaking LeBron is going to go to the Warriors. It looks like it got leaked that it's not a done deal, but my guy, Pat Grip Ewing, I think he was the one who leaked it or discovered it, because he had a post 11 hours ago that went mega viral. So I think he discovered this. Let me pull it up. And I will get back to my soccer take, but He said, did LeBron or did ESPN just leak LeBron to the Warriors? Today's PTI part of the interruption episode has nothing to do with Steph and LeBron, but a producer labeled the podcast with this title: Steph Curry behind LeBron's stunning Warrior decision. So I should probably go sell my LeBron to Cavs shares because it seems like it's over and not happening. I'm still positive on that. So I might go do that here while we're on the show and live sell my position because I think it's going to go to zero. Unfortunately, it's like B Epic and I were talking about this. It's like the last place I wanted to see LeBron go. I'm a LeBron fan. I think I just, for so many reasons, it's hard for me to imagine like Jordan deciding to end his career with the Pistons.
Bro, Jordan ended his career with the Wizards and took $1 million for the last 2 years of his career.
And it's like, but
I mean, how thirsty is
I don't
LeBron
know.
by going to the Warriors?
But
Like,
I don't even
this
get
has
it
to
though.
tarnish his legacy.
I don't even get it though. It's not like he's chasing rings. His whole decision to go to Miami was to win more rings, build a super team. He wants to chase Jordan, win more rings. You can't tell me that it's better odds he wins a championship with the Warriors than it would be the Cavs or the Sixers or the Heat. Like, I don't think the Warriors. I was talking to Steve. Steve's like, I don't know if they're like maybe the sixth best team. I was like, because I was shared with very epic. I don't even know if LeBron or the Warriors. I don't think they're his top 4 team in the West. And yeah, Steve's like maybe the sixth best team in the West. Where if he goes to any of those teams in the East, the Cavs, the Sixers, the Heat, any one of those teams, they become the best team in the East. And I just don't get it, man. I mean, who am I to say? But for someone who's got seemingly all the money, generational money, he's never gonna have to worry about money again. He's gonna go on to probably double his net worth, if not more, after he retires. Like, do you love Steph and Draymond that much? Like, you want to go play with them? It's just it to me. Why I think it disappoints me is it, and I'll hold my comments because it's not final yet. It just seems that way. Disappoints because like the championship the Cavs won over the Warriors was all time, was incredible, like iconic, and I feel like this like diminishes that a little bit. Like, oh, they weren't really your hated rivals; they were your buddies. I don't know. Like the whole he scored 41 points in game 3, or no, game 4, and everyone's like, oh, he's not going to score 41 again with Draymond back because Draymond was suspended for that game the first time he dropped 41. Sure enough, he goes out and drops 41 the next game. It's like it was so much lore to that championship that they won in 7 over the seemingly unbeatable Warriors. I feel like this it doesn't tarnish it. It doesn't take the championship away. But as a fan, as a Cleveland fan, as a LeBron fan, I think it does. I think it does diminish it a little bit, and I think it. I don't see how this adds to his legacy. And in some, I think many feel it's going to take away from the legacy. But just my 2 cents. What I will say about soccer, though, because we were talking where I got on basketball and LeBron was the NBA and who's the next face of the league, who carries the torch after LeBron. Man, I don't know. Like, I'm blown away by the young talent in soccer. Like, not only is Haaland 25, 26, and probably not even the prime of his career yet, certainly on the upswing. I guess Kane is kind of aging out. Maybe Kane may or may not play the next World Cup. But you have a lot of talk like, oh, Ronaldo and Messi are hanging it up. This is going to be the last World Cup. There's so much young talent in the league. It's not just Lamine Yamal, who just turned 19. Spain, one of Spain's defenders, one of the top defensemen in the world, is also 19. So the Spain international team has 2 19-year-olds starting in the World Cup final. You got Gilberto Mora, we were talking about yesterday with Sergito, which, by the way, really enjoyed that conversation. If you missed it, I will pin a link to the Spaces recording in the top, and then I probably won't do this, but I may go grab the podcast link too. But check that out later after the show if you missed it. It was a good chat with Sergito and talking about his guy Gilberto Mora. He's 17. Just so much young talent throughout international soccer, and a lot. When I say young, like a lot of these guys are like 18 to 23 years old. Bellingham and Gordon I mentioned. I think Argentina's made. I don't know this. Who average age of World Cup teams? I'm guessing Argentina is one of the older teams, not just because of Messi. I feel like they're older. but I'll do a little research as we go around the horn here. Go ahead and get in here, Machiavelli, and we'll bring Joey in. Mac, you there?
Yo, my bad. Yo, I came up to say that Yamel's proof that aura farming works. As a kid, he aura farmed Messi.
Crazy.
And now they're going head to head in a World Cup. I think that's like we can indicate that that's proof of aura farming works. The family won the ticket. I just thought it was amazing to see that come full circle. Now I want to know, what timeline are we in? Are we in where the young buck aura farms the old man and he comes and he beats him for the World Cup? Or are we in there where the old man stays strong and he beats the young buck for the World Cup?
You know what? I think either way, it is the passing to the torch. Whether Messi wins, whether Lamine wins, I think this 100%. is the passing to the torch. I did just check the average age of the U.S. men's national team was average age is 26. The last 10 winners, average age was 26. The oldest squad, I'm kind of surprised by this. Colombia is actually the oldest squad, almost 30 years of age by average, 29.54, the oldest out of all 48 in the field. Brazil, one of the favorites, they were 28. Neymar allegedly retires. I'm not sure if that's confirmed yet. Germany was tied for 30th. Portugal tied for 28th. Argentina, so not the oldest, but 27. They're tied for 23rd, so like halfway middle of the field. France, 16, England, 17, both like 26 and a half. This is scary. Spain, who, I'm rooting. I think I'm going to root for England. It was funny. I said I'm going to have to do some Argentina steaks to celebrate Sunday. And my girlfriend, who has been rooting for Argentina, she's rooting for like the South American teams, also has been rooting for Spain. And she's like, no, I don't think so. We're going to have to do paella. So we might have a divided house if she's going for Spain and I'm going for Argentina on Sunday. But Spain, who I think is the more talented team, I'm still going to go for Argentina. Not only the more talented, their average age is 26. So like of all the favorites, Spain is the youngest, which is scary how good this team is. Like defense is elite. And then you got Lamine, who, well, he hasn't been flashy. He hasn't scored the goals as the other stars have. He's obviously very good. I think he's definitely going to get his. And super, super young. But yeah, the youngest team, Ecuador, average age of only 23.76. Morocco, average age of only 24.72. They're scary good to think their average is under 25. Then you got Canada, for our Canadian friends, only 25.81. Ghana, 26. And like I said, then Spain tied for 8 with Tunisia. Mexico, 26. Norway, 26.31. U.S., pretty young at 26.38. But we not to go back and relitigate the entire conversation on American soccer and why it's hard to see them actually competing at this international level because how broken the youth program is. It's not just like club soccer for the kids, the 10 to 18 year olds. You think about it, like the whole goal in those programs is to get a D1 scholarship, to get a good play in college. And then so like oftentimes the top talent, that's what they're doing. From 18 to 22, they're playing in college part-time while they're going to school. And meanwhile, their counterparts internationally, the best in the world, are all playing professionally. By the time the top, yes, granted, the best 20-year-old in the U.S. is probably playing on the U.S. men's national team. They're not as good as Lamine and these Mora, these other 17, 18, because they're playing professionally, like day in and day out. They're playing, training for a living, while the best in the U.S. often are playing part-time, training part-time, and not all, but some, partying, like they're in college mode. Like it's such a different culture for the development of youth all the way to, until they get out of college. And then maybe go play for an MSL team if they're lucky. Anyways, Joey, go ahead and get in here, and then we will keep things moving. GM, everyone, by the way, we are live on X Video, X Audio, Abstract, and YouTube. Appreciate everyone who's been giving us the love over there. We are 4 subscribers away from our next big milestone on YouTube. So if you haven't yet done so, once we hit 1,000, I'll promise you I'll stop showing it all together. I may throttle it back a little bit once we hit 500, but once we hit 1,000, I'll stop the shill. But yeah, if we get 4 of you over there today to hit that subscribe button, that'll get us past the next milestone. But if you feel free to watch us wherever you like, whether it's on YouTube, X Video, Abstract, all those are pinned up top. as well as the audio spaces. Any of those likes, reposts, bookmarks are appreciated. All the way to the right up top is the reminder for this week. If you've not yet hit the reminder for tomorrow's show, it's Friday, so it's a Friday free for all. We will have our coffee with Captain. One of you will be doing a BZ call poll and taking home a grail. While I hand it to Joey, I'm going to go check our current standings on our World Cup bracket competition, because whoever ends up winning that here come next week, they are going to be the winner of the Coffee with Captain Community Member of the Month for the month of July. And we'll have a $250 claw pool at the end of the month. It's a new leader. Jambert and myself both dropped bad because we had France to win it all. Now, I'll share this here in a second, but it looks like we may already have our winner decided. JP Vamos. Who's JP Vamos? JP Vamos, you have not only jumped into first place with 139 points. Mike Campbell's in second place with 133, but Mike has France to win. JP Vamos has Spain to win. He also has Argentina in the final, so he nailed the final. He or she, I shouldn't assume. JP Vamos has had Spain and Argentina both to advance, so getting both of those right got him 32 points and leapfrogged into first place. Now has Spain to win. I'm scrolling down to see if there's Eddie Crypto is the first one on the leaderboard to have Eddie Crypto is the first one on the leaderboard to have Argentina to win, has 115 points, and Eddie Crypto is in 10th place, but 115 points. I need to see how many points do you get for getting the final right? Because that's what's going to come down to. If we even have a sweat, it may be over. Joey, I go find the rules, or the scoring rather. So final is 32 points for getting the final right. So what did I just say? 32 points. If Argentina wins, that would give Eddie 147. Yep. So it's coming down to that. If Argentina wins, Eddie Crypto wins the World Cup bracket battle and will be the Coffee with Captain Community Member of the Month. Eddie Crypto also famously was the one who called Beezy's move to Solana. JP Vamos, if Spain wins, will win the bracket competition by a landslide. Not the only one with Spain. Sovereign Apes in third with Spain to win, but at this point can't move up. Like only it's going to be either JP Vamos if Spain wins, or Eddie Crypto if Argentina wins. So cool, good. Glad we have a sweat, and both of you have if you weren't already pulling for one of those teams, now you have a reason to do so. Joey, GM, go ahead and take whichever direction you'd like.
GM. So while you're still talking about soccer, so you made the comment about how, like, Lamine hasn't scored as many goals and whatever, but I think the beauty of soccer is you don't have to score goals to have an impact. Like yesterday when you were watching Argentina just absolutely push the whole English team back into their own net. Messi didn't. Yes, he had the 2 assists, but before those, he wasn't even close to scoring. But because he was being so creative and getting into space and getting balls into the box, he was having like a huge impact. And same thing happened yesterday when Lamine got the ball. He would get the ball, and it was like a pretty nutmeg or a one touch, or you can command, as a good player, you can command so much attention from the defense that you don't even have to score to be the best player on the field because of that. And like yesterday, yes, Messi had the 2 assists, so yes, he was in the scorebook, but he was so impactful every time he got the ball. Even when he got the ball, at the center line, and he made that one pass, it led to like a breakaway. So I think that's the beauty of soccer, is like, where in basketball, if you don't put up 30 points, right? Like you don't get, like, yes, I guess you could have 12 assists, right? Which is a great stat line. But if you've got like 2 points and 12 assists, nobody's going to be like, man, that guy really impacted the game, right? Yep. They're going to look at the person that put up 30 points or 40 points. And kind of the same in football too, right? Like if you don't get the yards and the touchdowns, They're not going to go like, wow, that one tackle you made, you're the player of the game because of that one tackle. So that's why I think they call soccer like the most beautiful game, because you don't have to score the goals to like enjoy the skill of the player and what they can do to impact the game.
Yeah, I agree. At the same time, having watched all these games, I also don't get me wrong. Lamine is an insane, incredible talent. Still going to be one of the teams I pull for, and I want to, looking forward to following his career. I don't think he has been as impressive. It's not just the goals. It's just I don't think he has been as impressive, or because I saw yesterday. I think he's leading in the Ballon d'Or, or however you pronounce that, on Kalshi or Polymarket, one of them, and I might go bet no. I like him. I just don't. If it's stat driven, if it's weighted heavily towards stats, the Ballon d'Or is like the basically the player of the year, the most important player of the year trophy. If it's stat driven, it's hard to see like someone like Harry Kane not winning because he scored just an insane amount of goals this year, or even Holland, again, insane amount of goals. And while England made it a little farther in the World Cup, they're a high ranked team. They were expected to be in the Final Four. Norway wasn't expected to go as far as they did. So if it's stat heavy, I would think one of those two guys win it. If it's World Cup heavy, I don't know how you don't give it to Messi. Win or lose in the finals, it's like he's leading. He's number one on Argentina in like every single KPI, every single stat category, from goals, assists to shots created. Like he's.
But remember, it takes into account your club play.
Oh, I know.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like if it's stat driven and your club driven play, because it's not like I think Kane won two domestics this year. It's hard. I don't know I don't think it's full stats though. I think like the way they vote is not just like who had the most goals, right? Or I think they look at it from like a total impact perspective, because again, in soccer, like you don't have to score all the goals to have the most impact in the game, which is why the man of the match isn't necessarily the person who scored the goal, right? Even in like a 1-0 or a 2-1 game, it can be the person that had the biggest impact, that created the most opportunities. So I don't know. I think sometimes they vote on these awards because they just want to, like, I don't know if Lamine should win personally think he should win the Ballon d'Or this year. But I think in some people's mind, they're like, to your point, like all these stars are getting older and they need somebody to like lead them into the future. So it's like, why not vote for him since he's the future? Because I do agree. My reason not to would be because Messi's played better on the stage that matters most, and it's likely his last time he would be in the running for that, where Lamine could win it 5 times for the next decade. So if I have a vote, it's Messi has my vote all day. If not, then it's probably Holland. But I'm a big fan of Lamine. Like so it's a little bit of bias, but I don't have any like open bets or anything, so it's not real financial bias. By the way, so I did show the bracket challenge leaderboard, 32 points to the winner. So it's going to be JP Vamos or Eddie Crypto. Good luck to both of you. And then breaking news, you all are legends. Thank you very much for taking action to the call to action. 401 subscribers. You all just triggered a $4 bonus for Payne. So congratulations. We also got Inception, StreamYard Inception going on. Love to see that. Let's do Joy, did I cut you off or did you finish the thought?
I just want to add one last thing about the LeBron situation. It just I don't understand. I don't understand why you would go to Steve's point, why you would go to a team that's not even the best team in the conference, number one. It feels like, I don't know. I don't know what his thought process is of like why he wanted to leave LA in the first place. Right. I don't know.
I don't think LA wanted him there anymore. My read was they know LeBron's not forever. He's not the future, and for whatever reason, I'm not saying him and Luka don't get along, but it seems like they want it to be Luka's team built around Luka, and they don't want to wait in it didn't seem like LA was interested in the LeBron retirement tour. Is my take. Maybe it was mutual.
Well, yeah, I think they wanted to move. I think they wanted to move the team in a different direction that gave Luka a chance to be the leader into the future, and with LeBron on the team, it's kind of hard to do that. So I understand that, but like, he could have taken a pay cut and could have taken I don't know, who knows what the conversation was. But the point is like, if you're gonna leave and go somewhere else, why not? And to chase a championship, why not go to a team that actually has a chance to win? Unless he just wants to play with his buddies, I guess. You know, I mean, he's considering the Warriors his buddies. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hope it's just fake news. There was also a clip, I don't know if it was real or AI, but of Steve Kerr driving in a car, window down, and a fan says, we need LeBron. He's like, oh, we got him. Put that on Twitter. I don't know what to believe on X, whether it's true or not. For all I know, Dennis Rodman is negotiating the Iran peace treaty. It's maybe what we need. So I don't know if I think that was a joke, but it might be exactly what we need. Dennis Rodman famously negotiated peace with Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Maria, have a safe flight. Thanks for checking in. Would have been pretty cool. Well, I imagine it was interesting watching that game in England yesterday. In London, actually, no less. Might have had some sad folks. I'm curious if anyone like actually broke down in tears or teared up during the game. But still, even I can't imagine watching it there. I hope you enjoyed it, and safe travels to you. Bagel GM, what brought you up this morning?
What's up, man? Yeah, I definitely wanted to chime in on this topic. First of all, I hate the LeBron headlines. I think he's milking it a little bit because putting this into a slow burn about himself. So that's what I have to say about that. But look, I have to rain on the Lamine Yamal parade just a little bit here, okay? Because like, here's the thing: like being effective in other ways other than scoring is kind of a moot point, because it's like that for every single possible sport. Like, you don't have to score to be effective. But here's the deal: like Spain, like part
we lost you
in this World Cup. No,
you're back now. Yeah, we lost you for a bit, but you're back. Yeah.
All right, I'll make it quick because I'm going to end up rugging. But look, I mean, he's on these teams, and part of his valuation is being an elite finisher, and he's been anything but that this Cup. And you know, it's just like I said, it's a moot point, like being effective off the ball or just in other ways, because like that, like I said, that goes for any sport. But when you have a player like that who's brought onto a team to be an elite finisher, as well as a few other things, but that's mostly what his like skill set is. He's an elite scorer. He's been anything but that. And there comes a point in these types of tournaments in any sport where not being able to finish like that bites your whole team in the ass a little bit. Now, fortunately, Spain's entire team has been really good. I mean, Marino has been that elite finisher, which is awesome. But like, I just wonder if it's going to catch up to them against Argentina, because, I mean, this is obviously going to be the best team that they've played. This is going to be their toughest competition. And I think the dying minutes of the game last night was kind of telling in terms of like what Argentina is capable of when their backs are against the wall and they need to get a goal across the line there. Like, I mean, like you said, Cap, it was like 12 minutes of England possession at the end of that game up to a certain point. Like, that's crazy, dude. Like, if Lamine Yamal can't step up and mature a little bit in this game, I just wonder if it's gonna like come back and bite them in the butt a little bit. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, you need your best players to step up in the biggest ways in order to win games, and even then, sometimes it's not enough. I mean, just look at some of these other teams, right? Like France, Mbappe had been spectacular all tournament. Obviously, Haaland. I mean, the best players on most of these teams that were really far stepped up and did what they had to do. Bellingham. I mean, these players did phenomenal, and I can't help but wonder if this is going to be the end of the road for Spain if Yamal can't put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you're. So I'm going to disagree really hard where it's the same for other sports, because like in the NFL, if you have the best wide receiver in football on one side of the field, and let's say you double team him, that doesn't just all of a sudden allow the rest of the team to throw for 300, the quarterback to throw for 300 yards and every other wide receiver to go off. Like it's not the same as it is in soccer. Like Lamine doesn't have to score in order for his team to find success, because in soccer, all you need is the tiniest little opening. And if he's got 2 or 3 defenders with their eyes on him because he has the ball, that gives somebody else a chance to make a run. So, and I don't think it's the same. And even in basketball, like if you choose to shut down one player, that doesn't automatically assume, right, the rest of the team is going to easily be able to score.
If the team is good, then yes. If the team is good, then absolutely. Like look at what happened with the Knicks in the finals. The Spurs double teamed Brunson. Even then, he still came through. But like the rest of the team scored, they popped off. And in football, with running backs, like if you are not able to like run because the D line is executing, then you can be an amazing blocker, and that can produce more offense in terms of like the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think it's a little different when it comes to soccer, and I think the difference is with Lamine on Spain is that team is so loaded that he doesn't have to be the best player for them to win.
Exactly.
Like for Norway, if Haaland is not the best player on the field and he is not scoring, that team's not going to win, right? And we saw that when in the quarterfinals. So. And it's the same with Messi, right? Messi did not score yesterday. Yes, he had 2 assists, but he didn't score. And that team was able to come back and win because they have such an incredible wealth of talent on that team that he doesn't have to go out of his way to make sure that he takes every shot and he scores every goal. So to Lamine's point, as a 19-year-old, the last thing he wants to do is, exert this dominance and try to take over when he knows he's got 10 other guys on that team that are so good that all he has to do is just play within himself and they're going to win. Soccer is by far the most team sport where you can win as a team. You don't have to win with an individual scoring 70 points in basketball or, running for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns like in football. So I just think that anyways, that's my take.
No, that's actually valid. And most of what I was saying is it's really just speculation, because I specifically said, I wonder if this is like, if Lamine doesn't score, like I said, I wonder if this is like going to be the end of the line for him, because I don't know how Spain is going to rank up to Argentina. Yes, their team is phenomenal. I just don't know. I'm curious. I mean, I'm very excited for it. I do think Spain can win. I will be rooting for them because I am partially Spanish, but I just can't help but wonder, is he going to need to be like the shining star on the team on Sunday? I just don't know. I'll be excited to see it either way. I mean, it would be electric if he scored, but I do tend to agree with you. He clearly does not need to score in order for Spain to win. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't have made it this far. So you got a good point there, and I'll meet you halfway there.
I am stoked for Sunday, stoked for Premier League. The one game I really probably don't care. Actually, I do care about is the 3rd place game, mainly because it'll enable now, because you can't have DFS slate or underdog daily drafts if you only have a 1-game slate. Like some funny law is it has to be at least 2 games. You can bet on a single game, but you can't have those sorts of contests if it's only 1 game. They force you to have players from at least 2 separate games. Anyways, so I'm excited about that. I'm kind of disappointed because it gives Mbappe another game to score some garbage time goals and win the Golden Boot. And I would love to see Messi win it. So don't really care too much about the 3rd and 4th place game. I think it's kind of weird that they have that. I know there's prize money on the line, but Joe Education is like 28 million for 3rd place, 26 million for 4th place. I'm like, man, it'd be a lot cooler if it was just like 50 million for 3rd place and 4th place got, a few million, but not being much difference. I just can't imagine a lot of them are excited to go play after taking a bad beat. But anyways, I digress. Looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to World Cup ending, but I'm going to go hard into Premier League and get ready for a fantasy draft. So if anyone wants to join us in our first Premier League, our first EPL fantasy league, We're going to be getting one started up here. Not to be determined whether there's any buy-in. I think even if we do have a buy-in or if it's free league, we are going to work with Dun Cookie. We're going to attempt to get it sponsored. No promises. But maybe if nothing else, we can at least get the winner a claw pull for whoever takes that down. I do need to get into some actual Web3 news and headline topics of the day because we did have some. Markets didn't, after we got the coffee with Captain Pump yesterday, may or may not be related to CPI cooling off, but inflation cooling off. But we're going to take credit for it here as the coffee with Captain Pump. Pulled back just slightly, but nothing crazy. Was definitely not a big sell off. We had some crazy digital art sales, not crazy, but amazing tallies. In particular, Die with the most likes launched the collection, a 75 piece collection called Dying Is Not Enough, and all 75 auctions sold for an average of 5.38 ETH per artwork, which is over 403 ETH in total. So a nice $756,000 day for Die with the most likes. Love to see it. Digital art is still very much alive, and I know art is subjective, but I also think that
that's amazing, Cap.
Right?
Like, I don't even know if people realize how big that is. That there's still movement like that in the industry, like in what we see, kind of like NFTs kind of decoupling from crypto and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, the spirit of the art, digital art, is just very much alive. I can't wait to see where it goes and what they do this year at Art Basel as well.
Well, you know where it's going to go is there's going to be a Beeple mint that's going to be the mint of the year, and it's going to take place on the other side. That'll get announced at.
That's what we were saying, right? Like, that's what needs to happen.
You heard it here first. There is going to be a Beeple mint in other side. It's going to kick off at Ape Fest, and I don't know if it's going to be the mint of the year or not, but book it. There's going to be a Beeple mint in other side. I think they were prepping it with the Daniel Arsha mint, and Beeple mint in other side is loading. If you're at Ape Fest, you can mint one. If you're not there, good luck. You can buy mine off secondary. This here's some images in Dying Is Not Enough, that collection. It was in partnership with Glyph Marfa, and which is an analog gallery for digital objects from the Marfa team, and just love to see it. I will actually, you know what? Here, we'll show you here's the full. I may not scan through all these, but you can get an idea. And I'm not, like, again, art is subjective, but I think this is like, if you're creative, and if you're not familiar with Die with the Most Likes, it does a lot of like real-time culture commentary, CT culture commentary, digital art commentary. So it's not exactly like an everyday like Beeple, but we'll take a topic, kind of like what Bold does. Bold and Beeple, where they do artwork around the trending topic, and in this case, his style with the adding glitch to it, and they cooked. So big day, and I think again, if you're creative, if you can put your thoughts together, it's you don't have to be the most technically talented artist. Trying to choose my words carefully here because I don't want to sound like an idiot. I'm also not. I'm not throwing any shade whatsoever at Die with the Most Likes. It's just, I think hopefully it's inspirational, aspirational for aspiring artists who may think they're not. Oh, my art can't stand up against some of the most technically talented artists in the world. It's like, well, if you can build a community, if you can lean into the culture, here's 700, almost 800,000 reasons why it's worth continuing to do your work. But congrats to Die with the Most Likes. Congrats to the Marfa team, and congrats to anyone who. Here was let me show you I guess because they're all one of ones, but then there was some that were I don't know. Maybe Dort can educate me on the differences here, but you can see like this one was, most of them went in like that 4, 5, 6 ETH range. There was a few that were like 8 to 12 ETH, you can see. And as far as I know, like the differences was like the color palette on some of them, like you can see here, there's several that were just like red or red and black, and then you got some black and whites. Most similar stylistically. And then one of them sold for Blondie and Raul on behalf of something bigger acquired this one. Dying is not enough. Like the I guess what would you call this? Like the flagship piece? Because they're all one of one. So I don't know what you call this. What makes it special? If it's more pixels, if it's can fit on a larger screen, if it was just like the flagship one, you say this is the lead piece. There's a story to it. Can do it full screen here. There you go. Oh, sharing the wrong tab. 1 sec. There you go. Yeah, so for those viewing the live stream, you can see that one sold for 50 ETH. And appreciate all the congrats, by the way. Really does make my day to be over 400 now. Next step, 500. 500, here we come. Yeah. Unique style and strong point of view, referring to the artist. And I agree. Unique style, strong point of view, culturally, dialed in, and a good commentator on the space. And yeah, love to see it. So we had that. We had well, let me get in a proper market update, and that'll kind of carry us into the next topic of conversation here. But this is the daily market update. Sponsor slot open. If you're interested in sponsoring a daily market update, hit the DMs or DM the Coffee with Captain account. This is the daily market update.
Coffee brewing. Yeah, the market's in play. Charts on the screen. What the numbers gonna say? We got offer in the cup every single day. Coffee with Captain, market update on the way.
Starting with our majors. Red day. Couldn't go up forever. Can't go up only. Or at least it's very difficult to do so. So we're gonna freak out by the little pullback today. It's just how these things go. We need it's healthy correction, as the kids might say. Bitcoin down 1.3% to 63,891 after touching 65K again. ETH down 1% to 1871. And then everything else is like down 1% or 2. Solana down 2% to 75. Tron down 1% to 32 cents. Hyperliquid down 4% to $65. That's Zcash also down 4% after its big day. And a few green ones in there, a few, but nothing too crazy. Ondo, actually, it's funny. The Daily Brief today highlighted Ondo, the Keeping It Real brief, and I had it change it. I didn't realize, so it was actually much smarter than I, because it changed the. I had it change the topic of the Keeping It Real. But yeah, it was highlighting Ondo, and I didn't realize it was up 16% on the day, now to 1.85 billion. Ondo is bringing tokenized, one of the companies bringing tokenized stocks, tokenized equities on chain. Yeah, so there are some winners out there. Nothing stable. The one I thought we might get a sell off at unlocks. Not that didn't really happen. It's pushing $1 billion market cap now. VVV up 5% again, and EtherFi also up on the day. Did we talk about Jesse moving on here on the show? I know we talked about it. I just can't remember if it was on this show or not. Not moving on. He's still with Base, but relinquishing the Base app to Kobe. And
yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that wild.
Yesterday afternoon.
I don't know if it's that wild. I think it's
Well, it's wild the way that I feel like he addressed people. I didn't go read it or nothing, but he pretty much said that, like, talked about Brian and meme coins and talked about all kinds of stuff that you normally wouldn't like see somebody like that talk about. So
yeah, I mean, he said he was wrong. He did admit to being wrong. The whole creator coin this, and
he said CT pointed out every single one of his failures. And
there were some bad moves. Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I think it's an interesting timing when Robinhood's taking so much momentum and kind of wind out of the sails right now. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Coinbase is gonna be just fine. Base is gonna be just fine. But I think what I did share was from a spokesperson standpoint, from a front person standpoint, in a vacuum, I'd much rather have Vlad, the CEO, being the spokesperson for a chain and the builders than Jesse. No offense, Jesse. It's just, and I know they're going to say, oh, we're a publicly traded company. We got some regulatory stuff. Brian can't do this. Robinhood's a publicly traded company as well. So anyways, let's go from our tokens over to NFTs, sort of by 1 day volume here, and the 4,000 or so daily active buyers. Apes down 0.5% to 8.89. Hypers up 7%. Hyperliquid down about 5%. So, but still up on even despite hype being down. Azuki down 1% to 0.87 after its big pump. Dork's bags are down bad after he bought the top. I kid. Milady's down 1%. Mutants down 2% to 1.284. Little Pudgy's down 2% to 0.32. ASCII Cats on Robinhood 0.0024 on 5,400 sales. Invisible Friends up 50% overnight. What in the world's going on there again? Nobody knows. Pixelnet, we talked about here with Imlo yesterday, down 15%, but still 0.22 ETH floor on a mint that you could mint for $8 in person there at Node Foundation. Moonbirds 0.6, down 7% on the day. Rob Bob is looks like a new degen mint over there. Robinhood babies. Be careful with these degen mints that are nothing but green backgrounds and or copy pasta from other chains. VFriends down 4%, but up to 1.75. They must have had a big pump because even though it's down 4%, that's higher than the last time I looked at them. Normies 0.34. I saw they're doing something new too. And Redegen Hoods up 111% to 0.2 over there on base. I'm sorry, Robinhood Jane. Freudian slip. Mochaverse up 27% to 0.19. Pudgy Penguins up 1%. Nameless Dread. This is Die with the Most Likes original collection, maybe. 669 supply here, and floors up to 0.83. Also, Angela of Empire State Building fame teased considering a one of one of the New York of the Empire State Building flag. Beef Broth Go also up 0.43%. There wasn't a allow list or anything. It was just an open auction, right? So the other two Die with the Most Likes collections are pumping on just the news and the success of people wanting access, I guess, wanting exposure and not wanting to go drop 4, 5, 6 ETH on a one of one, going for one of these in the collection instead. And then you know what? We rarely do this. It's a leak on my end. We got to make the change though. We're gonna have to start tracking. Should have done this a while ago because I might have actually made the move. Payne and I were down really bad because both of us have been looking. We've had probably Clanos in our wallets. We've talked about picking up Clanos often. I just do very little on Solana, and I know it's an excuse. I know I'm making excuses, but I truly think if they're on ETH, I probably have one by now. I just, every time I go to think about it, it's like, I don't, it's not even like the effort of buying an NFT on Solana, which I, keep dust in my wallet and have maybe one NFT, or actually I have some reposes that I, appreciate, will keep, it's another builder in the space that I want to continue to root for. And then I have a Cath photography NFT on Solana. Other than that, I just if OpenSea would freaking turn on Solana, that would be helpful. I probably might make the move there, but you can see the floor ripped up. I think it might have touched 25 yesterday. It's now 21 Solana, a little over. What is that? What is 21 Solana? I think it might be over an ETH. It was yesterday at one point. Might have pulled back now. 21.9 Solana to USD is $1,600. So it's just under a 1 ETH floor, and only 130 listed. Hopkins, their floor is 0.8, also 100 listed. The listing, the available supply is crazy low. The floor is thin, as the kids say. And I don't know. I think even though they've already done the snapshot and equity's already been determined, I think these things could this team
I've been watching that floor every day, Cap, for this entire year. And I've seen it come up from 13 Solana to where it is now, and it's very rare you find anybody even drops a rare Clano on there or anything. It's very, very you know what I mean? That group of collectors really does collect, And then like so much of that collection is also locked up and they're staking and stuff like that. Like a lot of their long-time holders lock it all up for like a year plus. So it's a very small supply and rotation.
I just found Adam Weitzman's Klano. There is, you're right. There's not many. There's a lot of collectors. They've done a good job with collector score and collector profiles and reason beyond the equity, reasons to hold, reasons to stake with their questing and stuff. But yeah, there is the rarest one per Magic Eden, the rarest Klano in the collection of gold, gold Brontosaurus, Midas Bronto. It says ancient. First, it is a 500. It's listed for 535 souls. So 40K can go get you the Grail Klanos if anyone is shopping. I'm a little shy of 440K in my Solana wallet, so I'm out on this one. But love to see it. Congrats to the Klanos team, and I do think even though it's up pretty big, I think it's the team keeps moving like they are, keep executing, keep shipping at a crazy clip. I do think that thing has some room to run. I don't know where it goes, but if you think about, back to just comparing to the ETH collections, and we think about, okay, let's just for easy math, we'll say it's a 1 ETH floor. What did I say? $1,700. So it's like, call it 0.9, 0.95. That puts it below apes, below pudgies, obviously below punks. Where, if it was on ETH, where do you think it do you think it's properly priced if it's on ETH?
I think honestly, the OG collection's probably worth 2 or 3 ETH.
It's less than a mutant.
I would say more than a mutant, less than an ape, somewhere around a penguin.
It's less than a quirky right now, and these are collections. Obviously, I hold mutants and I hold quirkies. Like I'm a fan of both of those. But yeah, and I'm not. They're ones I'm not selling. Like my quirky is a special space quirky, and it's just vaulted. I might sell the mutant someday, but I don't have any plans to sell it right now.
Come to me first, Cap. We've had conversations about that.
It is, it's priced a little ahead of Chimpers, a little ahead of other Codas. It's ahead of little priced ahead of Moonbirds right now, Crypto Dick Butts, and it's like not quite half, but it's below V-Friends. It's a little ahead of Azuki. So it's not that it's wouldn't show up on a leaderboard chart. It would. I just think like if people are looking at it on this chart, like I do, you see me every day. I go to the OpenSea, I get trending, or I sort it by daily volume. I think there are certain people probably, do similar to and it's not. I'm not saying it's out of sight, out of mind. They're on the timeline often. You hear about them, you see the everything they're doing, everything how well they're executing. But I just when on days like they've had recently where their volume's popping off and the floors was up 50% in a day, like it would have been the leading collection on ETH. I think there's a lot of people that just don't realize that. They don't look, and they might see, oh wow, this is up 50% and it's still less than mutants. I need to pick up one of these. I need to pick up one of these Klanos. I do often, Von Pratt, and I do actually grab coffee. It's a multi-purpose coffee break, but I usually do fill up the coffee cup when I take a coffee break. Dort agrees. If Klanos were on ETH, they would have around a 2 to 2.5 floor. Consider how many collectors and traders on ETH and the fact they're staked. I think that was where I'd probably pin them at as well. So, do they deserve to be? That said, do we think like a short to intermediate term realistic upside for them is 2 to 2 ETH worth of Solana? 2.5 ETH to USD is $4,600. So 4,600 USD to Solana, it'd be like 60 SOL. Do we see like, let's say 50, 60 SOL is like a realistic target? I'm not asking anyone in particular to put a financial target. We're not financial advisors. If you're following us for financial advice when we're LARPing as internet animals, you probably should seek some help. We're here to have fun and throwing money at things that we can afford to lose and chasing some asymmetric returns and or just collecting things we like to collect. All that being said, is 50, 60 SOL in range? I think it probably is. without really diving in with just so few listings, and especially if we get an actual NFT season 2. It's not going to be like NFT season 1. We're not going to see 100 ETH floors. But if we get let's say the daily active traders go from 4,000 to 40,000, I think 50, 60 Sol is in range. He also says, the collector base on Sol and their loyalty and fervent support also makes the collection. So who knows who will be holding if they're on ETH? Might be more nomadic population. Could be. And I do think Hebrew drop would pump. I think it, because even though they've already got their equity, the understanding is Klanos, Hopkins, you can get Hebrew allocation by going and ripping those packs, the watch and collect packs. I do think when it gets closer, we get more details around that TGE. I absolutely could see it running a little bit. I mean, we've seen it. It's not like, ooh, wow, that's amazing. Thought that's alpha. Like it happens every time, but I also think like it's been a while, and I think people tend to maybe not. I guess what I'm trying to say is it may not be priced in yet. Somewhat, maybe that's what led to the 50% pump. That's what drove the extra volume. I don't think it's entirely priced in yet, and I think we could see. I think there could be another pump in it before TGE. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, the reason I'm not selling my mutant right now is so I have the extra access for a ticket and potentially an extra +1 for Ape Fest. I was talking to Carlos, and he said he would go. Cab, we were just talking about you. We were just giving you some love, and I included, big miss on my behalf, but I included today for the first time in a while Klanos in the daily market update when we were talking about the NFT leaders, and the consensus we all agree, all of us being Dort and myself, that if Klanos was on ETH, the floor would be around 2 to 2.5 ETH because people are creatures of habit, and they check the OpenSea and sort by 1 day volume. And when you look at it side by side, do we think taking up projects I really like and hold and collect myself in the case of mutants and quirkies, I think if you're looking at it side by side or down a leaderboard, Klanos are ahead of both of those. And so pre-TGE, we think it's realistically got a run of up to 50 to 60 Solana. That's the financial advice that Dort gave today. Told everyone go buy a Klano now because that 21, 22 Sol price you see today, it's going to 2-3x from here up to about 50 to 60 Sol is what Dort told everyone this morning. Anyways, I digress. We just lost Machiavelli, that cheater, that traitor. Kid. We may actually. There is some news on that front, on the Bored Ape Yacht Club front, and the big news: the one and only Mr. Adam Weitzman just joined the board of directors. I will share what he had to say on the topic. Announcement came out. Figgy yesterday had to say, today Adam joins the Yuga board of directors. Voting towards the next cycle means putting the right people in the right seats. Adam is a self-made entrepreneur across multiple industries and one of the most impactful collectors in the space. But what sets him apart is character. He's been a genuine friend to me and to this community when it counted most. If you've ever spent time with Adam, you know that he's got an incredible work ethic, relentlessly pursuing success in everything he does. He's the kind of person you want in your corner, heading into the next cycle. Bored Ape Yacht Club, Other Side, and Ape Chain. Congrats to Adam. Congrats to Yuga. I think it's a great get. And Adam quote tweeted that, said, I'm ready to put in the work and build. The main reason I took the position is I believe in the potential of Yuga, Figgy, and the entire Web3 ecosystem. These are early days. We're going to grow this industry together. I won't be taking any compensation in this role, so I can remain an unbiased liaison between the ape community and Yuga Labs. Love to see it. I also heard that Dort and Zane have turned in each other's resignation notices. So they may be for hire. If you're looking for basically the poor man's version of Adam Weitzman, the combination of Zane and Dort almost gets you there. I love them both. There's no shots here. V-Friends was on Amazon Prime in 2024. Klanos in 2026. Banksy was on Fox in 2010. The Simpsons asked the mysterious political artist Banksy to create the opening Fox hated it so much they were going to cancel the episode, and creator Matt Groening insisted they air it without one cut. It's really dark. Thanks for sharing. I had never seen that before. Was not aware. I mean, I'm aware of Banksy, but wasn't aware he was. Actually, I think I'm going to go to a Banksy exhibit here. It's like a touring exhibit, pop-up exhibit. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but in Tampa, there's a Banksy exhibit. It's called The Art of Banksy. I'm trying to see how long it is running. It's like on my to-do list, and it starts in 15 days. So kicks off, I guess what's it be, August 1st, and I'm sorry, July 31st. I don't know how long it runs, but it is. If anyone, is anyone going? Maybe we do a coffee with Captain Day at the Banksy exhibit. We were talking yesterday about can't remember, some coffee with Captain meetup. Yeah, this is the Strass Center in Tampa. It's the official London collection, 160 original pieces, largest authenticated Banksy collection in the world. Over $35 million worth of art, over 1 million tickets sold. If graffiti changed anything, it would be illegal. Iconic pieces, buy your tickets. I was just looking for how long it's running. Maybe buying tickets will tell me that. Still no idea. Well, we know it starts July 31st. How long it runs, nobody knows. It's provocative. Keeps people guessing. Come today or miss out. Congratulations on the resignation, Dane and Dane. Jesus, I truly have now combined Dort and Zane in my head. That's what happens. We might do a simulcast here in a bit. I'll let them do a few warming things up. If any of you that are cheating as well and jumped over there, if anything exciting starts happening, let me know, and we'll do the simulcast. What tickets are a source of anxiety? What are you referencing there, Dort? Yeah, it takes you 2 weeks to put in a 2-week notice. That makes sense. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Work 2 weeks and then put in a 2-week notice. Seems checks out. All right, let me hit some headlines just in case we do end up going simulcast sooner than later. Let me at least get them knocked out. I did talk about LeBron's next team. You can see it was up at one point to 60. I think I got 69% on Kalshi. This is Polymarket here. It's now down. The Cavs are still in the lead, 39%. Warriors climbing though, 31%. And hopefully it was fake news that got leaked, because I'd love to see him in Cleveland. News though, I do have a quick clip here. I'm going to play from the CEO of BlackRock, Mr. Larry Fink. This is only 36 seconds, so let me.
There is no question, as I said it in earlier times that I was here, I was always worried about the leverage in Bitcoin and crypto. There was too much leveraged players in it. That's why we had the washout, and I think there's more stability at these levels here. But no, we don't see that much implicit leverage. For the scale of the capital markets today, the leverage is not as large. I mean, that doesn't mean there's not pockets. But no, I, as I said in my prepared remarks this morning, I'm very bullish on the markets over the next 12 months. I think there's no question, as I said it in earlier times that I was here.
All right, you heard it from Larry. Risk on. We are bullish. He's talking. There was too much leverage in crypto. I think he was subtweeting me and taking some shots there. You can just say it. You can just say it, Larry. But the leverage has been flushed, and we are ready to resume almost up only, not entirely, but almost up only here in the very near future. I will hit on the headline, the title here in a minute. There is some really bullish stuff happening in Japan. The Clarity Act, the field hearing hits tomorrow. Senate still at the clock is ticking. They got to get something done here soon. Regulation is certainly front and center. Congress is taking the Clarity Act to Federal Hall in New York for a field hearing tomorrow. That's July 17th. Building the future of finance, how the Clarity Act unlocks innovation. Important framing. this is a field hearing, not a vote, so the House already passed the bill in 2015. The real fight is the Senate, where it still needs to roughly about 7 Democratic votes. By insider accounts, probably needs to get through by the end of July, or prospects of this actually passing this year deteriorate materially past the August recess, and then we're into midterms, and it's like this is kind of like now or not never, but it's like now or probably 2027 at the earliest. The sticking point is the ethics fight. After the July 1st disclosure showing President Trump pulled in about $1.4 billion in crypto-related income in 2025, Senator Gillibrand, one of the most crypto-friendly Democrats, said enforceable rules on officials' crypto holdings are a prerequisite for her vote. So the bill draws the line between what's a commodity, CFTC, and what's a security, SEC. Ask, what do you all, are you nervous? Like the SEC comes out and calls anything security. I don't really have those concerns anymore, but what are you talking about, Bonfront? Lost me there. Die with the most likes? I'm not certain. I'll come back to that. There was a small exploit. I mean, every exploit's not a great exploit. There was a small exploit overnight. Polychain Cascade was drained for a little over $1 million. I don't even know what it is, but attacker moved the stolen USDC from Arbitrum to Solana and then to Ethereum via relay pretty quickly. And just Q2 we're coming off of, which was the most hacked quarter in crypto history, with over 120 accidents and roughly $750 million stolen. The exciting stuff, though, as I allude to in the title, let me see if I can find a link for this. Japan, I'll talk through it while I search. Japan, huge structural win for us, the space that is. They moved to formally recognize crypto as financial assets. This reclassification came as with a dramatic reduction in crypto taxes. This is a shift that could pull one of the world's largest saving pools closer to on-chain markets and pressure other jurisdictions to keep pace. Historically, Japan has taxed crypto gains as malicious. It might be malicious sometimes. Miscellaneous income at rates up to 55%. So while you have some very tax advantageous regions in the East, Japan was not that. This favorable tax changes and some regulatory clarity out of Japan could be a decent long-term catalyst for crypto, much bigger than a single like ETF flow, for instance. Anyways, does bring a little more financial oversight with declaring it a financial asset, but I think good stuff. I think that's bullish. I don't have any Japan-based bags, but I think it could be a nice win for the space at large. And I alluded to changing the having the keeping it real segment changed. So we're gonna knock that out, and then we are going to check in on at the clubhouse. We'll do a little quick simulcast, check in on them, see if we do get any. The ticket thing that Dort was worried about was Ape Fest because it's a smaller venue, and I'm worried about maybe not getting tickets. So I think everyone will be okay. I think holders will have a chance. I think that there'll be probably some pretty big backlash if not. But thus far, I think everyone that's wanted to attend an Ape Fest has been able to attend an Ape Fest. Thank you very much. Count that ends in 6359. Appreciate the tip over there on Abstract. Greatly appreciate it, as well as Hans, our big Pingu tipper. That 500 Pingu is greatly appreciated. And let me do this though. Let's knock out keeping it real. It is a really exciting topic. I DM'd the team. If anyone knows anyone at Index, I would love a connection there. I don't know anyone at the team. I do have a few exciting interviews lined up for the Builders Domain and more. But if anyone knows anyone at Index, I would love an intro there, because I don't have one, and so oftentimes the cold DM works, but not all the time, and I've not yet heard back. And I really would like to have the team on to talk a little more about what they're doing. That said, this is Keeping It Real, brought to you by Doma.
Buying domains was slow, Doma changing the game. One bridge, one standard, now the systems move the same. Registrar, stay central, keep the trust and control. DNS and compliance, still they play the key role. Traded on chain, let new markets arise. Domain value unlocked. Welcome to DomainFi.
Welcome to DomainFi. Welcome to Keeping It Real. This is Keeping It Real, brought to you by Doma, tokenizing the internet's $360 billion domain market so you can trade, fractionalize, and earn on names that used to just sit there. DomainFi, now live at doma.xyz. Index, $Index ripped 150%. It's Robinhood chain, the Robinhood chain token that pays you in real stock. So this RWA story has not only been a topic of the space, it's been the core behind what Robinhood chain is building for. It's not memes, it's not NFTs. Do those exist on Robinhood chain? Yes, but they're building it for RWAs, tokenized stocks. Well, Index, the token Index, it's an ecosystem on Robinhood, which not only did it surge 150% in the last 24 hours, market cap now just went over 18 million, which I think relative, 18 million meme coin, we're probably not batting an eye at, but for whatever reason, when it's a protocol token that's making money and doing some pretty cool stuff, we seem to undervalue that. Kind of like Doma, kind of like Concordium. I do think we get into a real bull. Some of these protocol tokens that are real viable businesses, I think could have some moments. But here's the mechanic that everyone's talking about: you trading and protocol fees generated across the chain get pulled, and then used to buy not their token back. It's actually used to buy real Robinhood stock tokens. So on-chain representations of like Nvidia, Google, Apple, it's buying blue chip stocks, tokenized stocks, and then distributing that to index holders. So you hold your index, stake your index, and you're getting dividends of, I don't think they call them this because probably security laws, but they're getting dividends of blue chip stocks and actual stock exposure for holding an on-chain token. This Robinhood, Vlad actually is on record publicly inviting developers to build with tokenized stocks and RWAs on chain. He said, he recently tweeted, it also works great for memes too, but the backdrop is really focusing on these RWAs. Robinhood chain did flip Hyperliquid in 24-hour DEX volume, did over, it's pushed close to, I don't think it hit $1 billion yet, but it's been like 500 to 700 million in daily transactions, 7.6 million daily transactions, and over 3 billion in weekly DEX volume, flipping base for the number 2 spot on Uniswap, trailing only ETH. And one important caveat, I think, Robinhood stock tokens are actually not registered U.S. securities under laws and are not available to U.S. people. So I don't know, you might have to take a trip to the Bahamas if you want to claim some of those index tokens. But yeah, index and stockbrokers going to be industry dripping stock tokens into Tusk wallet and more. I, for one, am excited about stockbrokers. By the way, you've got until midnight tonight to burn your Pixel Pup Cup, any of those qualifying stockbrokers tokens. You need to get on that ASAP. We're going to do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to check in on Meet at the Clubhouse. Don't go anywhere. We're going to do the simulcast, and we'll probably go check in for 5-10 minutes, and then we will come back and any questions, comments. I'm curious your thoughts on it as well. But I'll share the screen now.
On the horse, right? So they could just keep going while asleep, and then sometimes they would take a break, and then they would like take a little slit and then like cut their horse a little bit, and then they had like a straw, and they would like drink a little of the blood, and then that would be their nourishment. They would just keep riding. So you could get like a long distance, like unbelievable compared to others because they were so integrated. It's pretty cool.
Come to Meet at the Clubhouse, and you can learn anything here. You never know what you might
bro.
learn.
What did I just hear, bro?
Did you hear it? That was like a little like military factoid about like Genghis Khan army. They were sort of like one with it, like they were the horsemen. That's why that was like equivalent to like modern tanks and planes. So they were like technologically advanced in that sense.
I mean, I do
Straight
know that,
history facts.
And Bouvet, correct me if I'm wrong, RFDZ, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that part of Mongolian culture, they have a lot in in a certain aspect, they have a lot of archers on horseback. And that is like a thing that I've watched a few documentaries on that I thought was so incredibly cool. And then falconry is another aspect of just what I assume is part of that culture as well. And I just find that so fascinating because where I come from, it's so basic. You know, like I've never been to Nicaragua. I love hearing all the stories of the culture of the club and how we can sit in one place wherever we are and hear about many different aspects of life and different types of people that are part of our club together here. And that's incredibly beautiful and just cool as an experience.
Speaking about from all over the
Man,
they turned on the mutual thing, mutual friends on Twitter thing. Now you can see them on your timeline again, so it's pretty good. But I was never not been able to see you guys because I already turned on notifications for all of you. So you're all my timeline anyway. But like, I guess something changed. It feels like it's more organically spreading out now, this stuff. Like prior to this, I felt like I was talking into the void, and then people would just, like, one person would like a tweet or something, or two people. So it's like, and then some bot would comment. So it felt like a vacuum. But now I feel like I can actually get in touch with people again.
guys, I love how like we started talking culture and everything, and it's amazing, guys, what we built and like the conversations we can have. We can go from like archery and horseback riding to like memes and crypto and like speculation on trading, or like it's like we can go in so many ways. We can go art, we can go tech, we can go investing and like culture. That's crazy, guys, and it's the just maybe audience is curious, like the festival that I mentioned that keeps us kind of busy, but we love it, is called Nadam, right? So it's NAADAM, like damn. So Nadam, NAADAM, if you Google it. So that's the festival here in the summer where wrestling, and then horse racing, right? And then archery. These are the three sports done every year, like an annual thing. Like it's the culture is brought back. Like Baron mentioned, archery. There's like very skilled in archery. Like they can shoot like on the side. They can shoot backwards, and like they just trained in all that. And then also another thing was that kept them going. Like you had to travel 1-2 months over the different places on horse. So like you had like an extra horse on the side, and then you relieve one when the other is tired. Also, the beef jerky is it's not like the beef jerky you eat in the US where it's like very tasty and like you put some ingredients like spice or barbecue. It's not like that, right? It's like very literally dried like beef jerky that you could carry in the pouch, and then you just like eat a little bit of that for protein during the 1-2 month horse rides. And then
I don't know I don't know. So I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know how we got there. I don't know how we got to horse rides and drinking blood, but we operate in an interesting space. Yeah, I will ask Machiavelli when he's buying a Clano next time I talk to him. And yes, I will do my best to save you some people merch. Congratulations to your Argentinians. I said we're gonna have to get some Argentina beef, some steaks from Argentina to celebrate. Sunday got a new grill and broke it in last night with some steaks, and said we need some Argentina ones for Sunday. To which my girlfriend said, "No, we got to get some paella." So the divided home may be very real if she's rooting for Spain on Sunday. What else? What else on your guys' mind? Is there any hot mints? Anyone on Robinhood that you're looking at anything today? There's anything that's got your attention? I've been paying attention. I haven't made any moves per se. I will be burning a few I can't remember the names. Clutch puppies and pixel pups, whichever ones they are. I'll be burning those for stockbrokers. We've got just the rest of the day today to do that. And but I haven't made any other moves. I'm excited for stockbrokers. I'm not played any of the memes yet. If I did, I'd probably just do those on OpenSea and don't get to worry about bridging or anything. But I don't know if I'm getting into. I don't think I'm going to play the DGen NFT game on Robinhood. The DGen NFT, the free mints that we don't know who the people are. It's just, they spin up something. It just seems low. The low effort stuff doesn't interest me. Things that are a little more higher effort, I'm very intrigued by. And there's actually, I mentioned we've got some exciting guests coming up. There are a few of these new builders. There's actually one DGen mint that's coming up on, not a DGen mint, excuse me. I shouldn't have said that. There is a mint coming up on ETH mainnet, actually, believe it or not. And I don't know. I'm curious if anyone knows anything about this. We're going to get the team on here. I've been talking to them in the DMs. We just need to pick a date. But has anyone been following Blocks? BLOKYZ. Original Blocks is the X handle. I'm sharing it here on screen for anyone following along. It says we make designer collectibles with top Web3 IPs and original universe of our own. So my read is they've been around. I was already following them before I caught wind of the mint. And my read is that they've been designing designer collectibles for other Web3 teams. Their X account was created in September of 05. Got about 10,000 followers. They're minting it says 10,000 original blocks coming to Ethereum. And I saw like TMA was giving them some love. I saw they did this, a collaboration with Good Vibes Club. Every office has that one coworker who changes everything. Ours just walked in. Meet Vibefoot Blocky, a brand new avatar and physical collectible made with our friends Original Blocks. Physical drop limited to 100 pieces. More details soon. So they're doing one of those physical collectibles for Good Vibes Club, and in addition to doing that work for others, they're introducing their own collection. It's also on ETH. And as I was saying recently, like if you're minting something new, if it's or building a new protocol, it would make sense to go to one of the Robinhood based, one of these change. I do think if it's a collectible NFT, it's going to be like your flagship. I still think ETH is the home for that. And I don't know if it's not Robinhood or Base that has some customer acquisition opportunities. Here's the let me see if I can get the. They do default dark mode, which I appreciate, but I don't think I can mint, or I'm sorry, I don't think I can mute it. Cute little things. So curious what we'll see on price points here. They've done a few collabs. I'm guessing you'll be able to claim your character with an NFT or something along those lines. Just guessing, I don't know. We'll get the team on here to talk through it. But you can see they've done a lot of, from meme coins to different chains, CoinGecko, building designer collectible IP built to preserve Web3 history, building collectibles for some of the biggest Web3 projects, as well as our own original characters. Each limited run figure captures an IP, chain, project, and moment from crypto culture. Not just making toys or building a living archive of the decentralized revolution, one collectible at a time. Limited drops, unlimited legacy. 1 second. Realized I forgot to shut my door and getting a little bit of echo there. Holder benefits, craft first, on-chain provenance, preserving culture, exclusive access, partner perks, built for collectors. Again, I just caught my attention. We'll be having the team on. We'll do a little deeper dive. But if you know anything about it, or you've been following along, or you have a Blocks collectible from another project, let me know. And if there's anyone else that you'd like to hear from, anyone else you've been following, you think would be a good guest here on the show, also let us know, as we are actively bringing in more special guests for this 9 o'clock hour. So you don't have to hear me rant for 2 consecutive hours, but I will do it when I have to, or maybe sometimes we wrap up a little early. But Klano's absolutely cooking, getting some love from the big names, well-deserved names. But talking, okay, timely. I didn't see this until just now, but as I was talking about where would they be on I am Diego. I'm looking for some allows. That will be my ask. If someone wants to come on the show, I do have some slots where they can come on for a special interview, a sponsored interview that they don't have to pay for, whether it's Builder's Domain or we just bring them on for a, on the house. But my ask in return is if we're going to bring someone on the house, and they're not going to have to pay the cost of admission, that they hook up you guys and gals with some Alalis, some claw pulls, something for the community. That is my ask. But on the topic of on ETH, if Klanos was on ETH, this was last night. They flipped Milady's and Azuki, not only in market cap, I think in straight floor price, if I'm not mistaken. But you got. I'm trying to do math here. So I don't know which one I'm looking at. On the right, what is their oh, that's volume. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here, but market cap 20 million, Milady's 19 million. I'm guessing that's got to be Little Pudgy's at 18 million, and then Azuki at 16 million. Congrats. Well deserved. Love to see them getting some attention from the non-standard sources. Even that, the Amazon Prime getting even Kobe's attention. Ansem's tweeted out, a Solana NFT project got an Amazon Prime series. That's pretty cool. Kobe says, wait, what? Yep, Klanos cooking. And I also saw someone talk about, like, not to make everything about floor price or the price of these things, but like, if that was a meme coin that got their series featured on Amazon Prime, crypto would be melting down, be losing their mind. The floor price would be mooning. Klanos obviously has had a nice pump, but its market cap is $20 million. Like, if that was a meme coin, it'd be $200 million most likely. Yeah, people did sweep pretty hard yesterday. This is where I get myself in trouble though, is I sometimes live too hard by the don't buy pumps and sell the rips, buy the dips. Is when it rips is when it gets my attention again. Like, oh shoot, I should have bought that last dip, and then I'm waiting for the next dip. Okay, I'll buy it the next time. I'm gonna get in the next time it dips. I'm gonna make my entry and take a position, and either it just keeps ripping or it dips, and I'm not thinking about it when it's dipping, and it's probably happened. That cycle is, for me, has probably happened a dozen more with Klanos than any other collection, where oh yeah, I'm gonna get it next time. I've talked about it, deliberated, thought about it, and still, when I check my wallet, no Klanos to be found. It is a Popkins only. They just reassigned their trademark from Klanos Inc. to Hebrew Group. This is project to studio type move. Trademark had sat under Klanos Inc. Every deal signed under the NFT project. Partners because the NFT project name now is Hebrews, not, they don't have to make that disclaimer. So it's interesting. Let's check back in on our friends. If it's more talk about riding horses and drinking blood, we'll come back. But I kind of think, I don't know. But I'm kind of thinking that we get the 8Fest news today. So I do want to check in case there is something time sensitive. But Diego says, please make a call for the people. There are some fake tokens trying to take advantage of Klanos' good moments. Yeah, please do your proper research. Make sure you're buying the official tokens, whether fungible or non-fungible. Make sure you're buying the real Popkins. Make sure you're buying the real Klanos. Things can be faked. Volume can be fake. Fake collections. The people are getting the grifters, the scammers are getting as savvy, if not more savvy than ever before. So just please do proceed with caution on all those fronts. But let's check back in with Board Up Yacht Club at the clubhouse and see who's talking, and then depending on where no offense to anyone who was talking, I don't think we're getting any information or insight or alpha whatsoever. So let's check back in And depending on the topic and whether we might hang out for a little bit, we might come right back. But this is Meet at the Clubhouse.
Percent focused on. And we don't do nothing. We don't take it. We don't phone in nothing. So that's why you're seeing the anchor drops looking fly as a motherfucker. That's why you're seeing, Manifest One and leaning heavily into the yacht culture because we are a yacht club. So the thing that I'm most excited about is seeing everybody rock the shit IRL. And then people wondering, who are all these people like running around our town? Like, what is this? So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Super excited about it. We have enough hoodies, man. We got enough hoodies. It's time to elevate.
We were talking about
got
this
some
last
crazy-
night in the. Oh, go ahead, Baron. Go ahead.
No, please,
What's
please,
crazy?
please. I just wanted to say for anyone.
Can you all hear? Do you still hear the spaces when I share the different screen? When I share this Manifest One drop, are you still able to hear the audio of them talking? Can you still hear them talking?
Do drops in between that. So that's how, from moving forward, that's how we're operating. The big difference between us and any other brand is that if you own one of our, our premier digital assets, then you actually get access to members only items. So that's the crazy thing. And then the anchor drops are with artists that are like, that have their own communities, and then their communities can't even access it because they're not a member. So, it's really a dope strategy because most people in web, shout out to everybody in Web3 that's still an operator, but everyone has their own strategy on how to penetrate Web2. And this is definitely one of ours. The other ones, we definitely have Other Side. We definitely have IRL with Clubhouse, and we storytelling with anime. But this is our strategy with style, is to do this really cool strategy of dropping really dope shit on our essentials page, like the evergreen stuff. But then there's also the anchor drops that people can be like, damn, how do I get access to that? And it's like, oh, you have to be a member. You have to own these assets. And these assets get you more than just access to these clothes. So it's really building that funnel, man. And I'm excited about it.
I lost audio there. Not sure what that would be, but I will. I'll share this. Let me, if they are, they're talking about these manifest drops. So if you missed it, I shared it there. I'm not sure how they said no audio on YouTube. So I think the audio cut out when I shared another tab. I think audio only comes from the tab I'm sharing. So my bad. Now I know. But this is the first manifest drop. So I'm probably out on the jacket just because of where I reside, and I don't really need another jacket. Although I do agree with Ape Whale, it's going to be pretty sweet. The details on the jacket, I'm guessing probably like $250 type jacket, higher end, and it's a nice lining. What I'm interested in, what I'm definitely getting though, are the shorts. I'm in the market for some more shorts, so sign me up. I also wonder if they're going to incorporate like a flag like this with each of their future drops. Would be a guess. I am going to hit on something else. I don't want to end on a somber note, but she's sharing her journey publicly, and I know a lot of you here care very much about Outer. I mean, even my girlfriend, who's never met Outer, hears me talk about her, heard her on the show, and so she asked me. I don't think a week has went by since I shared the news of her diagnosis that she hasn't checked in and wants to know how Outer's doing. So she shared this yesterday. Up around 3 of 6. Chemo starts today. Started steroids, so her face is swelling. Lost 80% of her hair now, and her red blood count is down. So she's anemic and tired. So basically, starting to look like death, but still feel mostly okay. Maybe sometimes I feel pretty bad, but after this, we'll be at the halfway point. So I suppose that's something. The pets are cute though, and they match her fit. Still vibing, I guess. Love to you all. Do something with your life while you still have it. I don't want to say it breaks my heart because she's going to beat this. She's a strong human and taking it head on, but definitely chokes me up a bit and thinking a lot about Outer and her journey, and I can't imagine what she's going through. So if you missed that, haven't seen it already, I pinned it up top. Go give her some love and support. I know it means a lot to her, and I talked about maybe shaving my head in solidarity, but she said I don't have to. She encouraged me not to. She told Divide and her son the same thing, that they don't need to shave their head. So I just wanted to share. If I could do more, I would. But wanted to at least send some good vibes and send her some good wishes, and at least I can do is make sure you all are aware of the update, and that she continues to battle. With that, I'm trying to find a good way to segue after that, but I thought better to talk about now as opposed to wrapping the show on a somber note. But now thinking about how I get the plane back on the tracks is a challenge. Coincidentally, uncoincidentally, I don't know a better way to put it, but probably the leading voice in the daily fantasy sports world, or at least one of the leading voice, if not the preeminent daily fantasy sports analyst, getting Adam Levitan, someone I followed as long as I've been in the game. As long as I can remember. Well, his current business is called Establish the Run, known in the industry as ETR. He founded that with Evan Silva, another big brain in that world, and it's become like the go-to spot for projections and simulations and rankings, cheat sheets, all that stuff. He's done maybe as many shows as I've done here, not daily. I think he usually puts out like maybe 3 a week. So gives you an idea of how long he's been putting out content. Anyways, he's always been on one of those days on the week. I think it's Mondays. He does a mailbag show, and he just takes questions from the audience about anything and everything. And he's been a proponent of preventative health and getting scans and checks. And he recently got I think it's called a Nova scan. It's like a full body MRI. And long story short, it discovered a lump, and long story short, he has thyroid cancer. But they caught it early, like 99% survival rate, and they were able to remove just half of his thyroid, so he doesn't have to take even medication the rest of his life, which you can live without a thyroid. You're on medication. Anyways, he's this past Monday he shared. I wasn't aware. His Monday was, I think the title of the mailbag episode was like Adam has cancer, but he's going to be just fine. Made me take action. Like I tuned in for the guy. I went there for DFS player takes and ended up getting actionable, like kick in the butt for health stuff, like scheduled my colonoscopy, and I'm going to look into some of these scans. I'm at an age now where I don't say this like to fear anyone, and I'm an optimistic individual, and I don't. While I do think about my own mortality and death, I don't. It's not something I like I dread or have any sort of like existential crisis over. Although I'm not ready yet, I don't want to die, and I think in sharing, like kind of quoting him here, like his biggest concern was it's something that was avoidable in the sense that had he done his annual physical or did these scans and not done it, and then ends up finding out later he catches something, but it's too late and it's not curable. I just, if you're my age or even close to it, get your I mean, you even younger, get your baselines, even if you're perfectly healthy. At least go to get your physical, get your blood work and baseline testing done. If you're a male, you probably should get your I guess not just a male, anyone should get your colonoscopies after you reach your 40s. But anyways, sorry for the somber notes, but I think we talk a lot about keeping it real, pun intended, and what's on my mind. And I would be not being authentic and honest with all of you if I didn't share Outers update and talk about Adam. And like I said, it's not that I go through all day, every day thinking about death, but I do think about my mortality and my legacy and things I want to do before my time comes. And while I do live a pretty healthy life, I eat good. I'm very fortunate. My girlfriend cooks 10 to 15 meals a week, and I don't eat hardly anything processed really for the most part. I mean, I do, but I don't eat fast food, and I eat healthy, I eat good, and work out every day. But it doesn't matter, right? You just never know when something may, whether it's cancer or, some sort of heart disease. And it's good to stay on, more important than, hey, do you long hair? Do you short hair? Like stay on top of your health preventatively. And there's so many tools and resources at our disposal today with AI that even if you're feeling a little off, you can have those conversations. You can ask questions of Claude or ChatGPT that you may not feel comfortable asking your doctor, or maybe you don't have insurance and you don't want to go pay just to ask a simple question. Like you can stay ahead of a lot of this stuff, including diet and what's healthy, what's not healthy. Like we spend a lot of time and energy and thought and capital on a lot of silly things. It's easy to not prioritize some of this stuff. It's not the most fun thing to think about. I'm busy. I'll get to that when I'm older. I'll get to that when I have time. I'm trying to find Marianne had a post recently about entrepreneurs. Like, how do you balance everything? It's hard. The odds are you're not going to balance everything perfectly. The odds are you're going to fall short in some areas. And I think part of the goal, part of the ongoing challenge, even if you've quote unquote made it, is staying on top of everything. Or it's kind of like balancing plates. Like you may be really good at building the business. You're locked in. You're spending 18 hours a day building with Claude, but you haven't been to the gym in a month. So like you can work with Claude, but then make sure you prioritize, spin that other plate, spin the health plate, spin the relationship, the social plate. And easier said than done. I know this. And I'm looking for her actual post because I don't want to misquote it. But here, found it. She said this. Marianne is her X account is Marianne. Marianne is here. No, Marianne here. MARIANNE here. I might share it up top here in a second, but I'll share it on the screen now, and I'll quote. Says, question to all the entrepreneurs who have a lot of work. the ones who don't have a shift that ends at a specific hour and often have tons of meetings at night due to time zones, work on the weekends. How do you balance work, success, responsibility, a relationship if you have one, best friends, family, working out, fitness, health? My response was hard. Entrepreneurship was the main driver in my first marriage not working out, which is fine. I'm not seeking any sympathy there. Trust me, I'm very happy. We're happy. We're fine. We're good co-parents, I think. But I did go into business for myself so that I could go to my daughter's play at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon if I wanted to. And I did, but I often wasn't present. And I think that's the thing. That was my advice: is quality time is more important than the quantity of time, which quantity simply on all these areas, it doesn't exist. If you're head down, you're building something, you're locked in. So when you do have that time with your friends, your family, your significant other, turn off the phone, silence your phone, be present. Well, the work's still going to be there in the morning, and then create some non-negotiables. Today I work out every single morning. At minimum, I move for 30 minutes a day. Usually it's over an hour. Usually it's like my average day is probably 45 minutes at the gym and then 20, 30 minutes of cardio on the Peloton bike. But I've not always done this. I started this, I was probably 37, 38. I mean, I worked out a lot in high school, and then for 20 years, I didn't do much. Like, I just ignored my health and fitness and didn't realize how unhealthy I was, because I got a higher metabolism and I wasn't like 300 pounds. I wasn't like out of breath. I was overweight, but it was more than being a little overweight was I just wasn't healthy. I was sleeping like crap. And, I really do wish I had prioritized being present more when I was in building mode, when my kids were young. But, I wish I would have created that. As I always say, I just don't have time. I'm too busy right now. I don't have time to work out a half hour, let alone an hour or two a day. I just can't do it. I just didn't make it important enough. And that is, I think it is important to prioritize your health, your well-being, both physical and mental. And something else that probably would have benefited me to prioritize both a little bit when I was younger. So that whole thing, like, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? What I just shared there is probably it. Dort says, back to the seasonal drops. This is what they were talking about on the Ape Fest. Hard pivot here, I know, but we're just going to go with it. Looks like there'll be seasonal drops to pair with evergreen essentials and various collabs, hoping that spreads the apparel drops out over the entirety of the year, not just the second half. I agree. Dort says he would probably subscribe to a seasonal drop with an annual subscription option with the club. Price levels determined by the holdings. I love this, actually. Why don't we have more subscription models in crypto? Why hasn't some? I guess it's possible now. You can do subscriptions on chain. I'm really surprised we haven't seen more experimenting on this front. Pay X at the beginning of the year and receive $4 a year, one each season. I love it, Dort. Send that up the line. Let's turn that on, because I too, otherwise, if they do something like that, I'm probably in, because I know that I enjoy collecting exclusive limited run hats and other items, but I'm also not buying everything. Just like I said, if this drop was just the jacket, I'm probably out. But if I didn't know what the drops were, I'm not gonna be upset if I'm getting a jacket that I've already paid for in January, because I forgot about that. I spent that's money already spent, and I'm happy to get. It's almost like I know it's not free. I know I'm paying for it, but in the model Dort just described, look at my holdings at the beginning of the year, and I think the other thing I would add to that, Dort, is I'm just picking a number. So you could just subscribe to the annual club it starts at like $1,000 a year. But if you hold an ape, you get it for $800 a year. If you hold an ape and a mutant, it's $700 a year. If you hold an ape, a mutant, and a coda, it's $500 a year. I'm making up numbers. I don't know if that math works. I'd be in. And then when the drop comes, so long as you're still holding those assets, you're guaranteed the item. If you've trying to think how they could do it. I mean, I guess if you're paying up front for the subscription, you probably want everything. I'm just trying to think of a way where they could also at the same time encourage you to not just sign up for the subscription and then sell your assets, but also to encourage maybe it's a free item, or I don't know. There's definitely something there. And speaking of on-chain builders, I am not going to share it yet, because we're chatting, and I know they're working on it's live. They've built something, and a fellow content creator has built something I think really cool on chain. Payne and I were talking about it post show yesterday, and I sent him a DM, and it's something they're using. I think it's a pretty awesome tool, and I shared that with them, and they said they are thinking about opening it up, making it open source, and or a model where others could just white label it for their own use for a small, nominal fee, and offered to allow us to participate, being that one of the first to use it. So I'm in. So more on that soon. But my point being, what took me to that was we talk so much about these NFT PFP brands building on chain and bringing stuff back to the technology. It also can be new people launching, right? Like, does it matter what chain they launch on? I guess kind of, not really, but maybe depending on what they're building. I think personally more than what chain they're on, because I think eventually most go multi-chain anyways, and it's not going to matter whether they're multi-chain or you can buy it on OpenSea without mattering what chain it's on. I think we're very much so. I mean, it's kind of already gotten that way, but I think it'll become like the norm and the standard in the very not too distant future. But beyond, I think more important than where they build is how they build with the tech, and are they leveraging blockchain technology to make it a better product? And it doesn't have to be just the NFT companies. It's like, hey, if you want to thinking about how you can build on chain, well, find where does on chain payment rails help? Is there something that makes sense for the idea that you're ideating? Could you make it a better user experience by bringing it on chain? And I know I'm maybe being a little vague or cryptic here, but well, I'll connect these dots when I talk about it. I just it's not public yet. I don't know how. Well, it is public. They're using it. I just don't know if it's public yet that it's going to be a product for other creators. So I don't want to speak out of turn because it was kind of I'm not under an NDA or anything, but it was just going to take one of those back and forth DMs and confidence, and got a little glimpse behind the scenes. So more coming soon, but it doesn't have an NFT associated with it. It's just a crypto creator that's built something cool on chain. Vibe code is something really cool that is solved a real world problem for creators beyond just crypto creators. Like, I think it transcends any content creators. And could you do it without the on-chain component? I guess you could, but being on chain it does make it better. And sorry for being vague and cryptic, but it is I just love to see it. More of that is my point. More tie-ins, whether it's subscriptions for merch or and not just the subscription piece, like the whole gating and who's eligible. Like, they're just and this isn't a knock at you. They've done this, right? They've done a good job. They have their always on merch site, which has some gated items that you can only buy if you hold the asset. I love that. And more of that coming soon. I don't think we got any news on at the clubhouse. If I missed anything, let me know. I will share this before I let you all out of here. I know the president of the Solana Foundation, she came out a while ago and said basically on-chain gaming is dead, to which Vibu is saying not so fast. He said this is probably a good spot to build a viral social app game on Solana. It's funny. I don't know if this was subtweeting Jesse either, but I don't think so. Vibu doesn't seem he is kind of a shit poster, sometimes S tier. This is probably a good spot to build a viral social app or game on Solana. Wellspring of active capital and retail participants. Not a ton of founders building here, so less competition. Base publicly seeded this category. Okay, he was directly subtweeting Jesse in a roundabout way or a direct way. Perfect conditions for a new pump fund fintech drip, in his opinion. I don't know. Maybe on-chain gaming is not dead. Solana Gaming says, you heard the man. Show us the next viral Solana game. So disregard the president of Solana, that on-chain gaming is dead. And I do think it gets lost in the whole Klano conversation is their game with GameLoft. We had the team on last week, and they straight up said, like, it's ready to go. They're just waiting for the timing to be right. What does that mean? To me, I interpret that's not them saying this. I'm damn disclaimer. I do not have any inside info. I didn't get a DM that was just sent to me, and even though I'm not in that quote unquote inner circle, I do think my reading between the lines there is that if and when they go their full series on Amazon, I can see the game with GameLoft shortly following that. That's my take. Once they hit their big win from the micro episodes on Amazon Prime Video is a big win. When they go live with the full series, another big win, and I think that might be when we see the game launched around that time. Last but not least, I did share up top as well. It looks like Ashley Decan X account got suspended. I pinned Nils post up top, and go just comment, give some support. I hate to see it. She's got almost 200,000 followers. She seems like a pretty. I don't notice anything she's done to violate terms and conditions. But she's back. Never mind. Y'all did your job. It's already solved. She's back. So good to see. Good to see. And on that note, 9:59. We're gonna get you out of here. The reminder link for tomorrow. It's Friday show, free for all. We will be pulling a Coffee with Captain winner. Someone's gonna hit a grail in BZ. It's pinned up top all the way to the left or the right. I'm gonna pin it up top again all the way to the left. If you've not hit the reminder for tomorrow's show. Go smash that guy when we go smash it when I play you out of here. And we'll be back tomorrow, as always, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.